Tuesday, June 5th, 2018, 9 a.m. Tax Committee. Call the meeting to order. Amanda, would you take the roll?
Crumley.
Present.
Awful. Here. Persley.
Here.
Whitlow.
Here.
Sticknut.
Present. Morning. Look over the agenda. I'd like a motion to approve the agenda. So moved.
Second.
Any comments on the agenda? If not, all in favor, aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. Take a few minutes to look over the claims. would like a motion to approve the claims and send them to county.
So moved for approval.
Okay, Dan, Troy, you second?
Yep.
Okay, any discussion on the claims? If not, take a roll call vote.
Crummedy?
Yes.
Hawthorne? Yes. Persley?
Yes.
Whitlow?
Yes.
Sticknut?
Yes. Okay, we'll move on to public comments. Are there any comments from the public? Hearing none, we'll move to the prevailing wage ordinance. Oh, Lisa, what do we have to do about that? Just approve it?
Pass it.
Just approve it, yeah?
Yeah.
Okay. Motion to approve the prevailing wage ordinance. So moved. Jed, second?
Second.
Dan, discussion.
Explain a little bit about it.
Explain what it is.
Yeah.
Lisa, can you explain that?
Any work done on a public structure or any public job at all, whatever company does the work has to pay their employees what's known as prevailing wage. That varies, I think, from month to month. We go onto the website and download the new prevailing wages for each job type, and we have them posted out here. All government entities have to approve the prevailing wage ordinance annually. Anybody else want to add anything to that? That was kind of the cliff notes of it. It's basically just to ensure, or from what I have read anywhere, quality workmanship.
It's pretty much required to be passed. I'm not sure what the penalties are if we don't pass it.
Yeah, I don't know. It's, there's been times when it almost didn't pass, but as far as I know, we've always passed it. And I agree, I don't know what would happen if you don't.
Still have to pay it.
Right. Yeah, I agree. It's still gonna pay it.
Right.
Okay. Further discussion? Okay. Motion to approve. Oh, we did that already. Just have to vote on it. All in favor, aye?
Aye.
Opposed, no. Motion passed. Any discussion points from our committee members? Any comments? Hearing none, we'll move on to reports from Iroquois County Department heads. Lisa?
On the 25th of May, I co-hosted the County Clerk and Recorder Zone meeting in Paxton. We focused mainly on two key issues in there, cybersecurity and what's called the predictable fee schedule. So I kind of wanted to talk about both of those things. So the predictable fee schedule was an initiative of financial institutes and realtors, because they wanted to be able to have and know exactly what the fee was going to be to record a document when they closed on a home. The reason why they didn't know what the fees were going to be is because all recorders' fees are a certain amount of money for the first 4 pages, and then it's usually like $1 a page after that. Or if there's variables. If it's a release and they're releasing more than one property, so if there's more than one PIN number in a document set for recording, that's an additional fee for each PIN number. I think there's also an additional fee for each name. Anyway, until they come in and bring their document in, and we find out if there's any additional fees that are needed. They didn't really know exactly how much. So they wanted everyone to have, we don't all have to have the same fees, from county to county, but they need to be set and not have variable amounts. So what we had to do, we couldn't just say, okay, well, our recorded fees are going to be this. We had to do a fee study, for the last 3 years. So we had to figure out for every document type, how many recorded, how much it was to record each of those documents, and then it had to be averaged. So we're we're working on that now. There's some counties that have it set. It has to be approved by January 1st of 2019, and it has to be it has to go into effect by January 1st of 2019, and it has to be approved 60 days before that. So within the next couple of months, we'll be bringing our new fee schedule based on our study. Fiddler is our recording software, and they've been helping us, with Excel spreadsheets and the right tools to use for our fee study. So, like I said, in the next couple of months, we'll be having that ordinance or resolution here for approval. If, as far as I know, so far, there's only been one county that their fees, based on their study, were going to be lower than what they currently were. Everybody else's have been higher. We don't know what ours are yet. We haven't got ours completed. But if they're lower than what they currently are, then if you want your fees to stay the same or be a little higher, then you have to do one of those expensive fee studies. We've done some in the past, and a fee study is not necessarily a bad thing. But like I said, they're kind of expensive, but it's the only way most fees can be increased. And they pay for itself, over a period of a couple of years. So hopefully our fees will be able to be the same or a little bit higher without having to do any kind of a fee study. And then the other thing is cybersecurity. And with obviously being the election authority, cybersecurity is a huge issue. But it's not just a huge issue for election authorities. It is for everybody. And I want to give you an example. A couple of months ago, I got an email that looked like it was from John Scher. And it said, and it even said, Lisa, can you do me a favor? I need you to pay a vendor. Here's the invoice, and I'll get back with you on the amount or something like that. Thank you, John. And I know that it didn't come from John, even though it looked completely legitimate, but that's not how we do things, obviously, so I knew he wouldn't have asked me to do that. So I just talked to Anita, do I need to send this to area wide for them to look at? Or she's like, no, just delete it, it's just phishing. So I did. But I know of one county that did it. And it was like $60,000.
Oh
my God.
boy.
And it's my understanding that they got most of it back. I'm not sure how they got it back, but also there's been a county that has been, their IT system was, I don't even know how to use the right words for IT stuff, captured and held for ransom, from ransomware, and that was very expensive for them to get all of they couldn't work, couldn't do anything. So we have always worked with Rusty, and from Area Wide, and Rusty's not with Area Wide anymore, so I don't even know exactly who, to talk to, but in 2016, when the State Board of Elections got hacked, and all the Russians were interfering with the election and everything, I worked with Rusty, and he prepared a document at my request to send to a senator who was asking for information. What's your county doing? What else can we do, to stay safe? And Rusty did a great job, and I've got a copy of his answer, to that senator. But like I said, Rusty's gone, and County Clerk Association is really, and the State Board of Elections, relentless about cybersecurity and what we're doing to prevent any kind of catastrophe, elections-wise. There's gonna be some money available, and I'm not sure yet how it's gonna be able to be used. It's more Help America Vote Act, or HAVA funds, that are gonna go to all states. I'm assuming that the money will be able to be used for our IT things. How long has it been since anybody's been here from area-wide to kind of go over? I looked in my folder and I found this. Remember this, Troy? It's 2018 budget considerations, and it just talks about what we have, I guess, and what we need. That might as well be written in a foreign language to me. IT is not exactly my forte. But one of the things on there is cybersecurity, and they list some things, and I don't know if this means we have this already or we need this. And I just wondered if it would be possible to maybe, since Area-Wide hasn't been here for a while, to, talk to us, if it would be possible to have them come and have an IT meeting, and we could kind of address new issues that are constantly arising with cybersecurity. Another thing they talked about was cybersecurity insurance. I guess that's a question, for Randy Schultz. Is it Schultz? Randy. I don't know if we have it. I understand it's not real expensive, but it's also a good idea. So I have a lot of anxiety about cybersecurity. I'm not worried about our election being hacked because, like I've talked to you guys before, none of our equipment is, it's called air-gapped. It doesn't go online. And we don't even use electronic poll books because we can't afford them. So the poll books, what a poll book is the list of everyone that's registered to vote. So when you go to the poll to vote, they look to see if your name is on there, and if it's not, then something's not right or whatever. With electronic poll books, those could get hacked, and it would just cause, just a, terrible interruption of elections. So I don't worry about that stuff because we're not being a leader, I guess, in technology for various reasons. But I still worry about the county's cybersecurity. And Troy, are those things we have, or are those things they're saying we...
But to what degree, that's all financial. So I think the best way to approach this would be to have Area-Wide come in next month and then just review our complete project list. We just pick those off by money and by what's available. And I believe it wasn't necessarily cyber security, but our security management was one of the projects for 18. And to what degree, we still have to do some deciding on how much that we would put towards that. But yes, to answer your question, there's quite a bit of security on that. But wherever there's security, there's somebody smart enough to breach it.
Would you be going into further depth on in the IT committee today on that?
No, there is no meeting today,
Oh, there's
so
no
we'd have
meeting.
to schedule them for next month anyway to get
Oh.
in here. And I don't believe it's Rusty anymore. I mean,
No,
it's
it's definitely gone.
Michael Tabor, I think his name is.
so we'll do that.
Okay,
And
I
let an invite
appreciate
for
that.
anybody can go to that.
Okay,
Okay.
so that's it for me.
That's it? Okay. Bob, anything?
We've been rather busy answering questions for tax bills and processing certificates of error based on mistakes. The majority of those are lack of getting an exemption that they're entitled to, so we've been working on them. After today, that should slow down a little bit and get back to processing assessor changes. And I have a ton of field work to do with all our assessor vacancies, so I'll be, as soon as today is over and it slows down a little bit, then I'm going to start getting out and about and getting my stuff done. My main objective in that is to pick up new stuff. I don't do a lot of reassessment unless it's requested. I just don't have the time, and but I'll make sure we get all the new stuff picked up that I'm aware of, and then so that's going forward with that. And then one other note: there was pending legislation on solar assessment to be done uniformly around the state. It was up for, I think, final reading on Friday. I don't know the results, but I know that if it didn't get done on Friday, there was a concern that it would not get done because obviously the budget took precedent after that, and they just passed the budget at the state level recently, and I'm assuming they're all gone. I think they recessed. So I don't know if they got anything done or not. It's not earth-shattering at this point. I would assume they'll be, if they didn't get it done, it'll be addressed again in the next session. But we were close to getting, that taken care of. There were some, how legislation works. Different entities have concerns and issues. So, but I don't really have a specific update on if it got through committee and went to the full house and sent it, it's on an honor desk or not. I've not heard. And that was on Friday.
I got an update this morning, I can send it to you.
Okay.
Show you what passed. It's going to the governor's desk.
Everything that passed.
Oh, I don't know if everything did, but he sent, Arlen Gazon just sent a list of things that did pass, and there was a lot of stuff in there.
But that was our big push this last session. And I haven't heard any major, obviously exemptions are always a big issue and stuff to try to get through there. So, but other than that, that's what we're doing.
Okay. Any questions of the department head? If not, we'll move on to Dr. Youssef and animal control.
So we received like 7 dogs last month and 2 bats. We sent them to the lab and came back negative. We sent 1 dog, result from like a dog bite. The dog didn't have any rabies vaccine. It was unprovoked bite, like you just run after a child in the street and bit him. And we had to send the dog to the lab for testing. Came back negative as well. So this is a good thing. And then I investigated the case of last month about the dog in the Water Planet facility. I talked with the chief of the police, Mr. Douglas. He came to my facility. Actually, we had a meeting together, and he called ICOM to follow up with the case, like what exactly happened that day, what that moment, and who responded to the case. So briefly, somebody accused animal control that we didn't care about the dogs in the street, things like that. And there was like a case, a dog loose at the Water Planet area, and we didn't respond to this case. So I have here a report from Erica, I have a report from Mr. Douglas, and just to give an idea to everybody like how we run the business here. So Erica said I received a call from a lady stating that there was a dog stuck inside the Watsika water treatment plant. I advised the caller to contact the sheriff's department because Watsika police has to be the first responders within the city limits. And also I cannot access the treatment plant facility. After the return, and then I sent her text message, what's going on. The lady said we located the owner of the dog and everything is fine. I actually printed out the text message between the lady and Erica, and you can have an idea here how it's going, how is things going. I'm back in town now if anyone needs help. And then the lady said, who is this? We couldn't locate the dog after it left the water area. And here is the owner's phone number. So Erica responded, this is the animal control. So you found the owners? And she said yes, through Facebook post. And we spoke with him via the phone. So they located the owner, the lady, and she talked to him. And it looks like he said he will come and pick up the dog. Mr. Douglas, when he came to my office, he called ICOM, like I said, and what happened is the lady called the police based on Erica's advice, or the ICOM. They sent 2 police officers to the area. They can see the dog inside the facility, but they cannot open the gate to get the dog. So from their judgment, they said, okay, you know what, this dog is fine, he can take care of himself. We don't have to call the animal control. So Mr. Doris himself, I asked him to attend the meeting. He said, you can say that on behalf of him. This is the police department issue. They didn't call us. And the mayor has like strict instructions that they have limited budget for the animal control. So, and he told me that not every loose dog in the city, they call the animal control. Which again is kind of like red flag here, and we need to talk to the mayor about that. I talked to him last year, and he said we don't have budget, to take care of every or all dogs loose in the city. So we have like tight hands, like we didn't do, and he said that, Mr. Douglas himself, he said like, this case you blame the police officer, because they didn't call us, and we cannot move to any case without their permissions. So I just want to explain this to everybody. We have limited control and things like that. By the way, Erica is like a self-contractor. Every time she responds to a case, she's getting money out of that. So she's willing to work 24 hours a day, but again, we have to control that. So I don't know what's the next step, And he said, Mr. Torres, he said like it's in the mayor's hand, not in the police department.
Yeah, okay. So when Erica responded to this, how was she? Was she paid from?
No,
She
absolutely
wasn't?
not. She didn't do anything.
She didn't do anything because
No,
she
she
didn't
just,
have-
takes a message between her and the lady.
Okay.
Advised her. She advised her to call the ICOM or the police department, and that's what the lady did. And the 2 police officers, not only one, went to the facility, and from their judgment, they said the dog is running loose inside. He would be fine. So we didn't do anything. She didn't do anything actually,
But the owner was located and notified.
and notified. Right.
Okay. Okay.
And then, based on the lady's statement that they found the dog dead the next day. But again, who knows, get bitten by another dog, get stuck by or hit by a car, nobody knows.
Okay.
And nobody called us about if he's dead or not as well.
Okay.
So I just want to explain that we are follow the Eric Way ordinance or every city's ordinance. Like, other cities, we have to call the mayor or have to call the board members to get permission to go there. Here in Watsika, the police department or ICOM. So we have limited, we don't have like free hands, to go and go to every case and pick up dogs from the street.
Okay. There's some pretty negative PR that's put out because people don't really understand how the system works.
Exactly. And some other thing, like, the dog I sent, he bit, a child. This is unprovoked, bite. It means, the child didn't bother the dog, he didn't take the food in front of him or anything like that, and the dog just jumped from the fence, ran after the kid and bit him. And then the police officer came to the facility, to the area, and the dog started to attack him. He didn't have the time to grab his gun, so he used his spray to stop the dog. So it's a very aggressive dog. I talked to the owner. I said, show me any proof that this dog has rabies vaccine. She said, we didn't get any rabies vaccine. So it means we have, by law, we have 2 options. The first option is we take the dog in our facility, any veterinary facility, has to be mine. Any veterinary facility to watch him for 6 months. And the owner has to pay boarding every day for 6 months, which is kind of crazy. It's going to be $1,000.
Yeah.
Because usually we charge $15 a night for boarding. And then at the end of 6 months, we tested the dog, see everything is fine, and then we can give him baby's vaccine and release him. The other option we have by law is to put the dog down, separate the head, send it to the lab. And that's what we did, and the owner was very cooperative actually. And she gave us the release form, she said, please do whatever business. But again, and I want to explain, because some people, they go on Facebook, and they said, this guy, he killed the dog, or he did this, or did that. We are follow the rules. I cannot put any human's life at risk, because the emotion that I know I'm not going to put the dog down. No, I have to do that.
Yeah, okay. That's explains the euthanasia fee here.
Right, exactly. Yeah.
Okay. Any questions for Dr. Youssef?
So should I give you copies from the text messages?
Okay, thank you. Okay. Is there any old business? Any new business? Motion to
I
adjourn.
move to adjourn.
Second.
All in favor, aye?
Aye.
Opposed, no. Meeting is adjourned.